devotees, and welcome to today's session. How are you doing? I pray that all is well with you and your families at this time. So as we looking through the archives of our lives and trying to find strength in the wisdom and decisions that we made to bring us to where we are, we see that certain decisions were not so easy, and many of them are like that. That certain decisions which become life-changing require a deep sense of introspection and a deep sense of understanding yourself, a deep sense of appreciation, a deep sense of knowing who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, how do you believe in yourself? And if you don't believe in yourself, then where is there hope? So each one of these powerful aspects of the human being are interconnected. And I'm remembering when we were very earlier on in my Krishna consciousness, we had been in Lenasia temple, and it was a wonderful place. It was a wonderful family mood. But individually we were struggling because as a brahmachari we didn't have any spiritual education. We didn't have any spiritual training in the sense of studying Prabhupada's books. And these are the essential elements of practicing Krishna consciousness with inspiration. So in those days it was Subal Saka Prabhu was the temple president, and Tirtharaj Prabhu. Oh, what a wonderful devotee he was. So Tirtharaj Prabhu and myself, three of us, just three brahmacharis, and we had Param Prabhu would be around, and also Mother Jai Radhika upstairs, and then we had Gaura Hari Prabhu, the Portuguese devotee, and we had two Matajis, Chaitanya Leela Mataji and Madhurika Mataji. And that was it. That was ISKCON Lenasia. It was a small place, but it was a very sweet place. We had a wonderful family mood, and we developed, especially in deity worship. But where it became difficult was in studying Srila Prabhupada's books, because we didn't have a format for that. And I knew then that if I don't make my own efforts to try to develop myself in this way, then I'm not going to understand Krishna consciousness, and what to speak of sharing it with others. So it was a very profound moment to me as I would make time to get up early. I would get up at about 3 and study till 4, because I knew that that morning hour, 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the morning, was very powerful, Brahma Muhurta, that whatever one focuses on and uses his energies at that time of the morning becomes very strong, becomes solid. And I'm looking back in hindsight now, I never thought that I'll be teaching or preaching or sharing knowledge like the way I do now, because those days were difficult days. Because in those days that was a weakness, that we didn't have an education system of spiritual knowledge the way we have now. Oh, now it's tremendous. We have a wonderful setup now. But in those days, you had to make your own efforts. So I had to believe in myself. I had to dig down deep and know what I wanted. And belief on its own is just a symptom of hope. And hope without action, that's just hoping. I hope, I pray, I hope it will work out. The follow-up of hope must be action. And we're going to hear that from Krishna today. So let's have a look at our inspiration quote for today.
Believe in yourself. Not to assume it's impossible because you find it hard, but to recognize that if it's humanly possible, you can do it too.
So let's go through our quote. It says, believe in yourself and not to assume that it is impossible because you find it hard. Yes. At that time in our lives when you're young, you have the energy, but you don't have the wisdom. That comes with age. As more and more hair falls off, you become wiser. Yes, that comes with age. Wisdom comes with experience of practicing in a very deep way. So at that stage in our lives, we were believing, we were hopeful, and we tried according to our efforts. However, certain challenges became impossible, certain tasks became insurmountable, and for a young person, what do you do? Where do you take shelter? That is the defining moment of where strength comes from. So he goes on here, but to recognize that if it is humanly possible, you can do it too. Yes, because you're taking shelter at a deeper level of yourself. It's not just determination, it's not just enthusiasm. It's coming from a very deep level of yourself. It's coming from your core. And if it's a drive from that level, then it can make deep changes in your life. But if it's just okay, it sounds nice, we'll see, we'll try. Try means a polite no. I'll try, I'll try. It means politely I'm saying. So we have to look deep within ourselves. So let's see what Krishna's wisdom. So Krishna describes in 8.7, Tasmat sarvesu kalesu mam anusmara yudhya cha mai arpita mano buddhir mam evasyasi samsaya. Translation: Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna. Wow! Can you get a more profound statement than that? Prabhupada would always encourage that think of Krishna 24 hours a day. Always think of Krishna. The golden rule in Krishna consciousness is always think of Krishna, never forget him. So this word always means in every time and space. That means in all circumstances. And how does one achieve that? Through a practice. And that practice is Krishna consciousness. That when one is in the waking state, one is consciously acting, and when one is in a dream state, one is subconsciously acting. So that dream state, Prabhupada would say, read Krishna book, read some spiritual philosophy before you sleep. Hear something about Krishna, and subconsciously that will work within your mind. So those processes are very powerful. And Krishna is directly saying here, Oh Arjun, you should always think of me in which form? In the form of Krishna. And at the same time carry out your prescribed duty. So you see how this becomes a meditation? Why? Because it's a life process. That you're not only absorbed in sitting and meditating in one place. Your activity, we are busy in this world, there's so many things to do. Your activities become connected to Krishna. Your activities become spiritual because you're connecting them to Krishna, because you're remembering Krishna, because you're connecting to the form of Krishna. And clearly Krishna says in this verse, think of me in the form of Krishna. That is a declaration. That is very powerful. Out of all the different forms of divinity that one can remember and meditate on, Krishna is clearly saying, Tasmat sarvesu kalesu mam anusmara yudhyacha. Always think of me in this form of Krishna and do your duty. Whatever work is prescribed for you by providence, do that remembering Krishna. What does he say further? And do your prescribed duty of fighting. We know for Arjuna, he's a soldier, he's a warrior. Therefore, his prescribed duty is fighting. What is your prescribed duty? Have you assessed that about yourself? That what is your proclivity? What is the thing? What is the gift that Krishna has given for you to use in his service? Have you found it? Well, maybe it's time to look for it. And he says further here, with your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. Wow! So a major part of belief is doubt. That if you don't have enough belief, automatically it breeds doubt. So Krishna is saying here, you do your duty, remembering me, with your activities dedicated to me. Are you dedicating your activities to me? Especially right now, many of us are going through really challenging times, tremendous times of uncertainty. Are you dedicating your activities to me? See what Krishna is saying. He's saying, dedicate your activities to me. Dedicate it. Dedicate and fix your mind and intelligence on me. You may be doing the dedication, but are you fixing the mind on Krishna? Ha ha. You see, both have to be there. You have to dedicate, and at the same time you fix the mind on Krishna. If you're only doing one, you're saying, oh, I dedicated. Are you fixing your mind on me, Arjun? And then Krishna declares, if you do these two things, dedication with fixing your mind on me, then what is the result? Then you shall attain me without doubt. Krishna is saying, don't doubt. Don't be doubtful that I'm there. I'm here to help you. I'm connected to you. You are doubtful because your mind and intelligence is not fixed. You are only dedicating without connecting the mind and intelligence. Both have to go together. Now do you see how powerful Bhagavad Gita is? It's giving the essential understanding of life. And therefore, if you follow this with a full and sincere heart, naturally you will experience the joy and the blissfulness that comes from spiritual connection.